Hey folks, Go Small Designs here. This is part 5 of the Meng 1/35th scale Leopard 1A3 C1 tank build. So it's been a while since we've seen this on the channel. Work has continued slowly in the background, obviously, just because parts been slow to come in. Same with materials. I've been waiting, a long time for, different suppliers to give me the parts that I want, just because we are doing a Canadian Leopard C1, and a lot of research needs to go into it, just because they don't actually make a Leopard C1 model. So progress has been slow. I apologize for those that have been waiting out there, but as you can see, progress has, happened on the farmhouse, and we're going to talk about that today. And some progress has been made on the tank, and we're going to talk about that today as well. So just a screenshot of the box of the country diorama. So if you are interested in purchasing, the country house that we're building, that's the box art right there. There you go. Now you don't have to purchase both these together. You can actually buy these farmhouses individually, so you don't have to have the two of them. But that's the box art right there. So talking about the farmhouse, now the last video, part 4, the farmhouse was not painted at all. I believe the roof was, but not so much the house itself. Now that's just using a primer white from Tamiya, just as a base. And then I used my 502 Optilong paints, as you can see right there. The cream brown. Now I make like a soup out of the cream brown just to get the dirty effect. And then I use the Starship Filth, I believe. Yeah, Starship Filth for the brick, as you can see right there. And then the faded UN white. I kind of mixed that with the cream brown a little bit, just to give that dirty look. Now I'm not going to touch that at all because oils, as you probably know, take a long time to dry. So I'm not really going to be handling that at all. So once that dries, just like the brick road, it's the same kind of idea with the brick road. Now that's been done for quite a while. Same with the fences too. I did the fence out of oil paints. That's long since dried, so I can definitely be handling those at this point. And as you can see, the tree is now in, and the grass, so we're going to be talking about that as well. And that's where we're going to have our nice tree. Now this is late summer, so September, so this is perfect time to be doing this video. And that's how exactly our trees look like outside right now. So that's where we're going to have our tree. It is in there. Now nothing's glued in. Now the tree is actually like kind of punctured in there, punctured through the plastic, so it's pretty permanent for the most part. I might, spin it a little bit if I don't like where the branches are hanging, because I can actually spin the tree in its position, and then we might glue it in place depending on, where it hangs over the roof. But the fence isn't glued in, so as I spin this model on my little cake spinner here, things might fall, so we'll see. But I'm not going to catch it just because I don't want to, touch my house. But the fence, it's kind of just sitting in there as, gravity holds it in. But that's exactly where it's going to be going. So very happy with how this is turning out so far. I believe it does look like a German farmhouse. Things yet to go in are, obviously are the door, and then we have, the eaves troughs. I'm not too sure what they call them in Germany, but, that'll go there. And then I have some other things coming, some barrels and such coming that, maybe we'll put a little bit of, fake water in here. Things to liven it up. And then, of course, we're going to still have weeds and all sorts of stuff, coming for the diorama, because that looks, very well kept right now. And then for the grass, that's just simple. I'm not too sure what company made it, but, that's just that stuff right there. So using spray glue, I just spray glued it and then threw it down. And then for the fall leaves and stuff, if you go back to my prior videos, that's just basically from that naturally falling when I put the tree in place. So I just left it there. So we'll just take a little spin here, slowly, because nothing's glued in, not even the roof is glued on. So if it falls, I'm not even going to attempt to catch it. So I'm not too sure which way we'll have the tank. It depends which way it fits better, because I have a few surprises coming for this diorama. So we'll see which way things fit better. But as you can see, the oils, if the camera picks it up, the way the oils fit into the crevices and stuff, it really gets that natural look of how things would in nature, right? Like it just, like that. That's exactly where dirt and grime would go in an event of, you know, like a rainfall and stuff, like how it would pull stuff down, if that makes sense. Now, as far as the interior goes, now will all be exposed, right? You're never really going to look at your diorama from this angle. So I don't know how much I'm going to detail here. I'm really contemplating how much I want to detail here, because the plan is to actually run a wire through here so I can have a light on the outside of the house. So, you know, I mean, a guy could really go, you know, put a kitchen table and all sorts of things in here. Now, I do plan to have real curtains on the inside here. So from the outside, it would look like curtains, right? So I don't think I'm going to go too hard on the detail here, because I really want to have this, you know, glued in here. So, and maybe put a fake wall here with maybe little points of Velcro, and with a piece of styrene make a fake wall so it hides the battery pack. Like just like a 9-volt battery in here to power the light. Because it would be cool to kind of see, you know, your model from this angle, right? So that way you can see some of the yard, but this would really not look too pleasant, especially with a 9-volt battery. And this is a great place to hide your battery, right? Because like I said, I wanted to run a wire underneath the model and then up from underneath the tank to power the lights, potentially, for the tank. So I can run lights through the tank, headlights. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But that's the idea anyhow. But anyway, so there's the backyard. Again, I'm going to have weeds and stuff, you know, growing right along the edge of the house, because this is a farmhouse, and then along the fence line, because right now this is just really well kept. But, you know, the tree just, like, there's a little plug, you know, a male end, if you can think of a male, and then the end of the tree, you know, just kind of pushes down through the plastic. You know, this plastic here. You have to kind of pre-make a hole and then push it through, so that's what's holding up the tree right now, and it's kind of leaning against the house. You know, these trees don't come in fall. I said that in my last video, but I had some fall foliage that I just sprinkled all over the tree, just to add some color. So there we go. So it didn't fall, so I'm happy. Nothing moved. The video isn't over yet, so I'm sure I'll knock it by the end of the video. So there we go. So I think I captured the whole German farmhouse look. Obviously, there's still, you know, the window needs to go in, the door needs to go in right here, right? So once that happens, then away we go. Now, I've been working with the turret of the tank. This is where a lot of studying needs to go in. I had to do some shaving. As you can see, there's a little bit of a shave mark right there, and then some filling. Canadian tanks. I'm gonna get back my thumb here. As you can see, there's a little bit of a line right here. I had to do some cutting and then sanding. There was a piece right here that needed to come off this part of the turret, and that putty right here, I had to fill all that in, and then I already had to put a PE part, that gold piece right there. So that already had to go in to make this more Canadian. So right off the bat, I already had to manipulate this part of the turret, and then I had put these parts in. This is part of the model kit right here. Actually, I'm going to put this on. So these parts right here, these 4 points, that's actually part of the model kit, so those can go in. But there was a part right here that needed to be sanded off. From here to here needed to be sanded off, and then this needed to be filled in. Now I have decided, this right here, this aftermarket set says Leopard C1 late conversion set. I have decided to actually do this as an early Leopard C1, Canadian C1. But this set here will still allow you to do an early C1. You just actually omit some of these parts. You just don't even bother putting them on, so that's fine. So a lot of studying needs to go in to doing this project. Not so much, I mean, some with the diorama, of course, because you got to, you know, figure out what things looked like in Germany in the 90s. But I mean, obviously this is just an old farmhouse that would, over time, you know, you just keep up a farmhouse. So, you know, that's easy enough. But as far as Canadian tanks go, there's actually not much other than this book here and a few pictures out there. There's really little out there on Canadian Leopard C1s. I don't know why. Whether they just didn't take very many pictures of them, or some of the guys out there, you know, have their pictures in their own personal archives. I'm not too sure. But I'm trying to make this as accurate as I can to honor, you know, the guys who served in the Canadian military in Leopard C1s and the Leopard C1 itself. So that's as far as I've really gotten on this project so far. I know it doesn't look like that much, but again, I'm trying to make this as accurate as I possibly can. So that's it so far. It doesn't sound like much, but this was actually a lot of work right here. And then, you know, some of that was a lot of work just in studying and trying to get it right. So I don't want to get this video going too long, but, you know, happy with the diorama so far. So I'm going to continue on and, you know, very happy so far. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to your comments. Thanks. Bye.